I want to take you all on a journey back to March of 2020. Picture it. We were all stuck in our houses due to the big no-no virus. Since my classes were all online, I would get distracted pretty easily. So one day I was in one of my classes, scrolling through Steam, when a game on sale for $5 caught my eye. The Steam cover for the game had two serious-looking men, and I thought the one on the left was hot, so naturally, I bought the game. Yeah, I'm easy to please. What are you gonna do about it? Little did I know that this impulsive decision would result in me finding my favorite game series ever. If you read the title, you would know that this game is Yakuza Kiwami. And I think that everybody should give this game a chance. Before we go into the video, I want to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help the channel out a lot. So, without further ado, welcome to Why You Should Play Yakuza Kiwami. Yakuza Kiwami is the first game in the series. Well, technically it's actually a remake of the first game in the series, simply titled Yakuza. The original Yakuza was developed and published by Sega for the PlayStation 2 in 2005, but that was only for Japan. It wasn't released internationally until September 2006. Yakuza is the only game in the series to have an English dub, and after you hear how poor it was, you'll understand why they decided to do away with it in the later games. Though, they did actually have Mark Hamill voice a character, so that was pretty cool.
Stupid! Fucking motherfucker!
Yakuza takes place in an open world and has many role-playing elements. It was heavily praised for its storytelling and gameplay, which managed to earn it a 75 out of 100 on Metacritic. Due to its amazing success, it spawned many sequels, and it also got a remake, which is what my focus for today's video is gonna be on. Back in 2015, the series writer, Masayoshi Yokoyama, had plans to develop a remake of the first Yakuza game, so that new players can enjoy the story and gameplay with more modern quality. After making Yakuza 0, the prequel to the Yakuza series, and receiving positive feedback, they were finally free to remake the first game. The gameplay for this remake was made to be easily accessible to newcomers, with an option to save the game's progress whenever they wanted to. The staff developing the game decided that it would be best if they kept the original voice cast and had them come back for the remake, because they really wanted to make this game as appealing as possible. Rather than making it look like a retro game with PS2 elements, they made the game similar to modern titles. Basically, it looked the same as Yakuza 0 because they used the same engine. Now, with our little history lesson out of the way, let's finally get on to what makes this game shine. The main character of the game, and the person that you play as, is named Kiryu Kazuma. After a normal night of drinking and going to pawn shops to buy a ring for your childhood friend's birthday, a Dojima family member approaches Kiryu to tell him that the Dojima family patriarch has kidnapped his childhood friend, and his oath brother, Akira Nishikiyama, has already went off to chase them to the Dojima family office. As soon as he gets told, Kiryu rushes to the Dojima family office, and when he arrives, he sees a grisly scene. He sees that his oath brother Nishikiyama has already taken Dojima's life with a gun, and Yumi is in shock due to the murder. Kiryu then makes the decision that he will take the blame for the murder. Kiryu then picks up the gun as the police arrive to arrest the culprit. The story picks back up 10 years later when Kiryu is released from prison, only to discover that his oath brother has changed into a ruthless man his childhood friend Yumi has gone missing, and 10 billion yen was stolen from the Tojo clan. Now, of course, that's a very bare bones explanation of the story, and it's up to you to experience the rest of this actual masterpiece. Now, another shining feature of Yakuza Kiwami is, of course, the gameplay. Just like the original game, Yakuza Kiwami is an open-world action-adventure game with role-playing elements. At least that's what Wikipedia tells me. You take control of the main protagonist, Kiryu Kazuma, as he wanders the streets of Kamurocho, a fictional district based off of the real-life Kabukicho district. As you wander these streets, you will randomly encounter thugs or other Yakuza members to fight. Yakuza is pretty well known for its ridiculous humor, with its really in-depth and, strange side quests. Like when Kiryu is approached by a talent scout who asks him to become a spicy dancer. I mean, I would want to see that. And, oh, you guys didn't think I wasn't gonna talk about the minigames, did you? I'll be honest, I probably spent a good 15 hours just playing the minigames. They are really just unbelievably fun. You can play the minigames with the money that you earn from defeating enemies. Some of the minigames you can play include hitting some balls, hitting some pins, throwing some darts, and my personal favorite, karaoke. Kiwami also introduces a new gameplay feature called Majima Everywhere, in which Kiryu's rival, Goro Majima, appears randomly during the exploration of the district. When Majima appears, you have to fight him. In defeating him, it increases the player's Majima Everywhere rank, and you also unlock new abilities in Kiryu's dragon fighting style. Not only does Majima appear in the streets, but he can also appear while playing a minigame, and he will naturally challenge Kiryu to whatever minigame you're playing. Moving on to the combat. And let me just say, this game's combat is absolutely amazing. Yakuza Kiwami actually completely forgoes the combat system of the original game. Instead, it focuses on Kiryu having 4 different fighting styles that he can switch between while in combat. You have the regular and basic brawler style, the slow and powerful beast style, the fast-paced but weak-hitting rush style, and the traditional dragon style. My personal favorite of the bunch is the beast style, because just look at this. You also have experience points that you get from fighting enemies or doing side quests that you can use to upgrade Kiryu's abilities. One of these abilities that you can upgrade are Kiryu's heat gauge. The heat gauge is a blue bar displayed underneath Kiryu's health. This gauge fills as you land attacks and successfully grab opponents. When a segment of the bar is filled, you gain access to my personal favorite part of the combat, heat actions. Heat actions are incredibly brutal attacks that look oh so freaking amazing. Yokoyama states that he wanted these actions to look as intense as possible. And oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, Kiryu's never killed anyone, by the way. Clearly. With all that I've shown you and all that I've told you, if you still aren't convinced in playing this game, I just gotta say, it's your loss. But if I have brought you over to the dark side, then welcome. You have 7 games to enjoy. You're welcome.